All right, Sam, so you were telling me and the team about brand awareness and how companies need to spend a lot of time and energy building awareness. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Most certainly, man, because the main thing is if you'd never heard of a company or a brand, you won't want to do business with them. And oftentimes, business leaders are all focused on immediate conversion. They want to see people coming to their website and converting into a lead immediately.
Of course. ROI is the name of the game.
They want the prospect to turn into a demo request or request a quote and buy their product or service, and they have a quota to hit for the month or a quarter. And that's all expected and that's all legit. But the problem is no one just lands on a website and immediately just decides to submit a form. 98% of the people that land on a website bounces. Only 2% ever convert. So which means, what are we doing with the 98% of the people that never convert? So you got to figure out, how do I get enough visitors to my website? And those people who come there need to trust me. And the only way they would trust you is by making sure that you are present. You're ever present anywhere and everywhere they go. You should be creating content in the form of videos or blogs. You should be getting published on your industry publications. People should be reading your content. They start trusting your brand. All those things will lead to having your name be recognized and known in your marketplace. And you should become a reputable name or a go-to partner. And that goes a long way. When they do come to your website, they start recognizing your logo. They start recognizing the headshot of your leadership team. They start remembering the content that they've read. And if they go and see your YouTube video, then they start putting it all together. Yes, I do know this company. I know they produce a ton of content. And some of the best recognized brands in the marketing space today is companies like HubSpot. They're just everywhere producing tons and tons of content. And if you look at some of the big brands that come into the space, and they're just make a ton of things to just produce awareness and creating videos and blogs and resources and things like that for their ideal customers, and then that creates a ton of brand awareness. And I think that goes a long way in terms of creating gaining credibility, and then also leading that to increasing the number of leads and customers that comes out of it.
Don't you think you have to promote as well and not just create it? I mean,
yeah,
it's one thing to create the content, but don't you think you got to promote?
Creating content is obviously the number one way to get found in the different platforms that your ideal customers are consuming information. Some are obviously going to YouTube to find answers to their questions of how-tos. Some are actually asking Google that same very question. Some are just following some thought leaders in the space. They might go to LinkedIn and just read through content that being shared in certain specific groups. So all those places are obviously where you wanna create and share your content. And most of these platforms don't give you much reach if you don't put some money behind that. So yes, right, promotion is definitely have to be part of that marketing mix. Otherwise, you're not going to get much in terms of reaching people who've never heard of you. That's where you have a greater opportunity to increase and create and reach that audience.
All right. So for someone who's trying to grow, someone who's trying to get, I guess, their brand awareness part figured out, and I know big brands got it figured out. They're working so hard and spending lots of money on ads and TV ads and radio ads and every kind of ad you can imagine. What can a small business, a startup, anyone, an entrepreneur do today? What's an actionable, practical thing you can give them?
Yeah, I mean, I think, with having limited resources and budget, you can't be in every possible platform, and you can't be putting unlimited amount of money into those. So I think you got to pick your battle. You got to figure out where do you believe your ideal customer is going to spend the most amount of time, what platform is going to make the most sense for them, and then just be there actively contributing content there and engaging in community and conversations in those platforms, and then put some money behind that platform to increase the reach and exposure of your content in those platforms. So if you're in the B2B space, I would recommend starting with minimum LinkedIn being your number one priority, and then from there, once you kind of build that audience, you can probably start inviting them to go to some of your other channels, whether it be a Facebook group or maybe to YouTube to consume certain content pieces there. And most often, some of these platforms are trying to make the engagement and activity to be native in that platform, especially LinkedIn. They don't want you even embedding YouTube videos there because they rather promote their own native content in that platform. They want their audience to stay within that platform, consume and engage there. So yeah, I would say pick your battles, decide which platform is going to make most sense for your customer profile that you're going after, and then spend all your energy and resources there to see the return on investment, and then from there scale up and expand into other platforms. Don't try to spread too thin in multiple places.
All right, my man. Thank you for that wisdom.